Back in 2018, I finally decided to buy a Switch for one reason and one reason only. To splat! No, it was actually for Breath of the Wild. This was a big daddy of games the year prior, beating out Mario, Horizon, and even my personal favorite, Persona 5, for Game of the Year. And it was well deserved. Then Nintendo threw us for a loop by announcing a sequel, and we were like, holy guacamole, that's amazing. But even after the new E3 trailer, we still don't have a release date. And listen, the bros are dying to get back into this world. So we decided to try Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, a Dynasty Warriors crossover title set before the original game, but with a co-op mode. Admittedly, I totally rule out any and all crossover games, but this one surprised both of us a great deal. So Andrew and I are here to talk about it, and whether or not Age of Calamity is for you and your best friend.
I don't even know what I'm doing. Drive by. Super. Oh my word. Oh my god. Ah! Oh, shakalaka, dude. Oh my gosh. It was disgusting. What did he do to deserve that?
In most of Nintendo's offerings, the actual co-op game mode feels like the developers got together and said, hey, you guys feel like adding on some split screen? Age of Calamity is no exception to that. For the first 30 minutes, you'll have to play solo as you complete the first mission. After that, you can unlock 2-player mode in the menu. One person will still be doing most of the work in the menus, but in the battles, you'll switch over to split screen. The one big caveat to co-op that we really need to mention is that sometimes it's going to limit who one player gets to play as. For several missions, the first player will have to play as Link, as they're not given an option to change their character, unlike player 2. This feels like a little bit of an oversight, but it's not going to ruin your experience. I mean, this is the hero of time we're talking about, not a 40-year-old man in a green leotard. He's cool to play as, and has more variety than the average character. So overall, I wouldn't say that it took away from the fact that this is a seriously fun game.
Oh, baby. Hey! Probably should have been chilling right here. Yee! How does it feel to get absolutely wrecked?
If you didn't pick up on it during our intro, this is a crossover game which misses the world and characters of Breath of the Wild with the gameplay of the Dynasty Warriors franchise. The whole point is to make you feel like a one-person army against a literal hundreds of enemies. I mean, look at how many of these guys there are! And while the missions aren't terribly complex, the gameplay loop is so satisfying, and co-op only makes it better. Like in Breath of the Wild, the Sheikah Slate is your best friend. This map is basically your home base for missions, and is where you go after to upgrade characters, weapons, and interact with a slew of systems. Each mission takes place in a decently sized map, where the goal is either to capture some enemy cans, protect an NPC, or some combination of the two. Most missions have multiple objectives, so having a friend actually makes it go way faster, as you can divide and conquer together. And it's honestly super satisfying to clear out a map and meet up in the middle for the big showdown. We quickly got in a rhythm of going through missions, upgrading characters, and then just getting right back out there. Now, I know what you're probably thinking right now. Doesn't that get a little old at least? Honestly, it probably would if it wasn't for how good the moment-to-moment gameplay is. But really, what drives this game forward is its surprisingly deep story and the many dope characters you can unlock.
I'm going to avoid spoilers here, which is obviously hard to do. So here's all I can say. I enjoyed the story. Much more than I expected. The cutscenes are way better than you think they're going to be, and a couple kinda were tugging at the heartstrings. It goes without saying you're probably going to want to have played through Breath of the Wild before stepping into this one. So, there you go. A spoiler-free milquetoast story review. Overall, it was definitely a motivator to keep playing and not a detractor. Now, character variety is the creme de la creme here, people. Throughout your playthrough, you consistently gain new playable characters. The developers did a great job at making each feel distinct from the last, and we had some real favorites by the end. And even though early on we had picked our favorites, it was always exciting to try out each character and experiment as they were unlocked. By the end of your playthrough, you're going to have a really good idea of how to string combos no matter who you're playing as, and which Sheikah Slate moves work best with your playstyle. I kinda wish there was more synergy between the characters though, like combined ultimates or buffs that you could give each other. Ironically, a lot of the fun was making up our own combos, like one of us using stasis before the other unleashes a huge attack.
Oh, stasis, dude! Oh, nice, dude. Oh, nice! Oh, that was so sick, cool. Dude.
Or timing our ultimates for a game-breaking spectacle.
Drive by! Me too!
Double special!
Oh my god!
It's a fire tornado! Yeah, this game is kinda pushing the Switch to its absolute processing edge. Mr. Bowser, can we please have an actual Switch Pro for this one?
So now it's time to address the big glitchy elephant in the room, the frame rate. If you didn't notice, playing in co-op tends to completely tank your frame rate. It's like the Switch just can't handle the amount of carnage happening on screen. Like these bokoblins, it's just getting totally wrecked. Honestly, we didn't really care that much. This is a pretty silly game to begin with, and it's pretty entertaining to see the game break because we were so good at demolishing everything. It never crashed our game or resulted in us failing a quest, so we were mostly okay with it.
First off, that's disrespectful.
Eat.
Oh, the
holy guacamole!
We killed them all with one shot. That was awesome.
That was so much. I didn't even think about it.
In the end, I actually played the second half of this game on my own since it doesn't have online, and I kept thinking, man, I wish Gabe was here. Not only would he have helped in some of these wild final missions, trust me, you start feeling like how the Switch is feeling by the end of these battles. But it was just an awesome and epic game that begs to be enjoyed with someone else. So if you're considering playing Age of Calamity, first off, yeah, you should play Age of Calamity. But secondly, you should try to find a friend to play it with. Just be sure to apologize to your Switch's processor when you're done. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel. Lately, we felt like not everyone is getting notified when our videos go live, so be sure to hit the bell when you subscribe. We've never really asked that before, but it's appreciated. Also, check us on our socials, like GG, where we review every game we play, co-op or not. For instance, I gave Hyrule Warriors a solid 4.5 stars. We'll catch you next time on another episode of the Co-op Bros.
Hanging out in the hot spring, invisible walls everywhere. I love invisible walls.
Oh my god, that was terrible. Oh my word, that was so terrible. This is a bird trap. I can't go anywhere. Where am I? Oh my god, I'm gonna
It's a bird trap.